I'm going to take that big bag back there.
We've got to cook the book, haven't we?
So, that's a bit soul-lighted.
I'll show you I'm not lying about. I'll show you I'm not lying about being a Chameleons fan. Get your glasses on now.
There you go. On my birthday.
Your birthday, yeah?
Yeah, I signed it on my birthday. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. I was waiting a long time for this. But when is it coming?
Yeah.
But I must say it's a fantastic book.
Thank you.
Because obviously being biography, being from that neck of the woods, it was incredible to start identifying to the places you were.
It's not something that you don't know about. I know that is.
I honestly think it would be fantastic for any Chameleon fans, wherever you are. But I think if you come from Manchester and you were there and around at that time, it's far more powerful, no?
Oh yeah.
It's incredible.
Nice one.
Well written too.
Thank you. I'm also
Yeah. Where's my notes now? Lost them. Okay, well let's talk a little bit, just as we're talking about the book, Mark. We'd just like to welcome you with Mark Burgess of the Chameleons. We thank you, Mark, for taking time out for Caldes Radio. And did you write it all yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah? So how long did it take you to...
Well, I was kind of picking it up and putting it down over quite a long period of time. I forget exactly, but when I first got a computer, I started it really because it was just an exercise to learn how to use the word processor. So that's how it started. And then some people found out. I must have said something about it, or been asked if I'm going to write about it. And I said, well, actually, I started something, and they encouraged me to finish it.
So,
and then my father got sick, and that was the catalyst, really. When my dad got diagnosed, diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
I wanted him to read it before, which he did.
He got a chance to.
Yeah. So that really galvanised me. So I was like an effort of like a year of pulling it all together and rewriting and stuff like that. But it was still a bit rushed in the end because I needed to get it out.
Did it come easy, or did you have to really think and ask questions?
It comes right. It came really easy. I mean, obviously I had a lot of diaries and stuff. I used to keep diaries a lot, so that helped. But I've got a kind of a memory for the significant things. Yeah. Although other people wouldn't see them as significant, maybe, but in context with the kind of book it is, they were,
But it's well detailed, well documented, isn't it? And I mean, all those places. And I love the points where you used to go to Moss Side, and like you mentioned in there, Julian Cope, because I'm a big Julian Cope fan too. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Apart from
I've had a few fortunate encounters with some interesting people, that's for sure.
What I like when you met Julian Cope half naked, in America.
Yeah, almost completely naked. He had a pair of sooty shorts on. And he turned up in a Cadillac convertible that was completely covered in floral wallpaper. We were on Sunset Boulevard, outside the Roxy, I think it was.
Yeah.
And we were he just turned up in this 1960s floral wallpapered Cadillac with a pair of sooty shorts. Absolutely caned out of his head.
Did you know he was in town though, or not? Or was it a big surprise to you?
Yeah, I think we did. We knew it was in town because they were asking me. Someone was asking me if I wanted to go to the show, and I wasn't sure if I did because I was a huge Teardrop Explorers fan.
Yeah, I was here.
And I'm thinking, do I really want to do this? And then in the end, I was like, after I met him, I thought, oh, you know what, we've got to go to the show. And it was absolutely brilliant. It was totally brilliant. And that's where I got the idea. I was inspired by that really because his guitarist was like a huge fan of Julian Cope's, and he'd been writing to him for ages saying, let me play, and he didn't take him seriously for ages. And then in the end, he just went, all right, come on, get your guitar on, let's see what you can do. And he blew Julian away so much that he just ended up touring with him for years. And he was a brilliant band. It was a little 3-piece band, I think.
Good. Well, Chameleons Vox are in town at the Bikini tonight, 9:30 you're on, guys, yeah? Do you want to introduce the guys here to us?
Yeah, this is Doug and drums, filling in for John. John's poorly, so Doug's come in and doing a grand job. And from New York, Chameleons Vox US, Justin Lomery.
Yeah, we recognise you from YouTube. So Justin, what is it like doing the Chameleons Vox thing? How are you enjoying it?
It's amazing. Like, Mark's one of the sweetest guys I've ever met.
Yeah.
We've been playing together for a year and a half. He lived with me for a little while in LA.
Yeah.
And I was a huge fan. Like, I've had a lot of special moments listening to the music. in my life, and just I'm honored, honestly, that he invited me over here, especially. Not only just doing the U.S. dates, but that, you know, really happy that he...
But how did you get to know each other? I mean...
Andrew, is a guitarist for the U.S. Shows, set up a show in Los Angeles for him, and he knew I was a big Chameleons fan. He just asked me to play.
Yeah.
He's like, "Do you want to play with Mark Burgess?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Straight away, no
I didn't think I was going to be
apprehension.
able to do it. I was just like, I have to say yes. I just have to say yes and just go from there. And it just all worked out.
How difficult was it for you to actually sit down and learn Reggie's parts?
I knew the song so well, just from listening to them.
Yeah.
It was actually really easy. Actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Because it sounds so complicated. Is
I
that
mean,
just
there was a
because
few
the effects?
songs that
Or?
were harder than others, but I knew them so well, just the songs, that it was just easy. Because I think
when you like stuff, it does come easily. When something actually appeals to you.
I mean, it's not easy. These parts are hard to play.
Yeah.
There's a certain similarity in style of playing. If if you're really good, if you're naturally good at picking, and you pick a certain way, and there's a similarity of style between just the way Justin picks and the way Reg picks.
Yeah.
I've worked with some that have really struggled because they're playing a completely different style.
Yeah.
And then it becomes quite difficult. And there are a lot of things that Reg plays that really don't sound that complicated. You don't think they're really that complicated until you try and do it.
Yeah.
And then you realise, you just think, like, how's he doing that? It's like, you try and get your head around it. But Justin got his head around it really quickly, because I say there's a similarity in style.
And what about you, Doug? And the drums, did you have to sit down and theoretically learn John's parts?
I listened to the Chameleons as a teenager.
Yeah.
John actually lives less than a mile from my own house anyway.
Yeah.
And I was John's drum tech, still probably am John's drum tech. Got to know John intimately, what makes him tick and stuff, and one of the most appealing things about John was his sound on the Strange Times album, because I was really gravitating to high-pitched snare drums, and I was cranking steel snare drums and popping lugs off trying to get that sound. And when I actually met John, I said, "What did you use?" And he actually used
For the Strange Times album?
Yeah, he used a great big wooden Art Star snare drum that he cranked so hard the shell actually imploded and came apart at the seams that it was made. But me and John, we are social creatures anyway. We go for a drink and stuff, and we became really good friends. He is quite a complex character, and I'm in a big community of drummers, and John has massive respect. And John is the sort of guy that doesn't really believe that he is as revered as he is. It's like, a guy texted me the other day, Andy Perfect's a good friend of mine. He's a session drummer. He said, "Give my regards to John," when he was ... legend.
Yeah.
So John, he's a massive influence for me, and to end up working with John and then, stepping in for him while he gets better and stuff.
It's been a struggle for me, really, in areas where I've not been able to get John in.
Yeah.
Finding a drummer that can come close, because this is a job for a very hard-hitting drummer. So we were fortunate with Doug, because he's naturally a hard-hitting drummer. He's a very powerful. Some drummers will play a lot lighter, and maybe they can play the parts, but their natural technique is lighter on the skins. This music is driven by the drums, so you need a very hard hitter for that.
We heard that in the sound check.
Right, yeah.
I have 12 blisters.
And they, people who can drum like that. There's a lot of great drummers, obviously. Although with the price of the kits, I'm amazed that anybody actually gets into it. But there's loads and loads and loads of drummers, but really driving, hard-hitting drummers, not so common.
Not so common.
No. And it's a really an essential part and an essential ingredient of playing this music.
Live,
this particular music. Yeah, you need that.